Hey guys, Playvids here. I've received a few requests asking me how to play Russian ArcheAge beta. Considering it's a free-to-play game, quite a few people are actually interested in this project, and you know, Tryon is really taking its sweet time releasing it in the West, so hungry fans are taking any chance and opportunity to actually check it out. So why not? Let's go ahead and make a short video guide. First of all, why in the world would you want to play Russian ArcheAge? You're probably asking yourself, I wouldn't understand a word, these Russians, the language. It's so hard, all the letters look the same. And well, first of all, you can pretty much play it in English. Yes, there is a quick English patch for the Russian client. It is automatically translated, so most of it is gibberish. You know, Russian is a pretty complicated language, but most important things will be easily understandable. So there is that. Second is, of course, servers located in Moscow. This is pretty close to Europe. That is Europe. So latency for a lot of players, even from the United States, will be really low compared to, say, playing on Korea or China or Japan, where the latencies get really ridiculous. So this gets you comfortable play, really. And third is a really competitive community. Now, Russians, even though you will probably not be able to understand them, well, maybe at most 10% know English on a appropriate level, I would say so. Still, they're really dedicated players, a lot of hardcore players among the Russian community, so this guarantees you a constant heated up gameplay. Plus, you know, Russians will flame you all the time, but you wouldn't understand it. There will be a lot of messages in chat. Yay. Let's go ahead and see what exactly do we need to do here to register for ArcheAge. First of all, of course, direct yourself to archeage.ru. It redirects you to aa.mail.ru, exactly to the parent company's site. Also, you know what, I recommend you using some translator plugin if you can. It makes things easier. The site is easily translated from Russian to English, and most of it will get much clearer to you, but if you're not doing it, not a problem, I'll show you how to. There is a big red register button right here. There is also a smaller register button right under the email field. Click one of them. Let's click the big one. Oh my god, I should have clicked a smaller one just because nobody ever clicks it, and it gets lonely, so I thought maybe give it some attention a little bit. And here we get to the registration page. It's really short, but that is because you cannot use any email address you want. You first need to register a mailbox, or pretty much an account in all of its services, similar to what Google does. And all the services on mail.ru, so that is what we're going to be doing. The fields here are pretty self-explanatory. You need to input email, you need to input password to that email, and a nickname for the forums. Since we don't have an account at Mail.ru, we first need to create one, so let's click here, and whoa, new mailbox registration. Name, it's asking us to give them our real name and surname, although that is not checked in any way, so if you don't feel like giving your real details to the company, that's absolutely fair. Fill out what you want. Just don't forget to write it down somewhere, because you might be asked these details if you want to recover your password. Anyways, my name will be Jeff Archeageson. My date of birth will be, I don't know, I need a beautiful date of birth. It will be 10th of May from 1982. My city will be Moscow. I will be female. Don't you think I've got a pretty female voice right here? This is the name of our account, of our mailbox. It's already suggesting us something to choose from. Let's pick ArcheAge mail.ru, as well as the password. I'm not telling you the password. There we go. tells me I've got a medium difficulty password. Next, it's asking to input a mobile phone number. You can use your own, there are lots of countries to choose from. It's for text message, nothing else. You will be getting text messages in relation to your account, for example, when you need to log in, additional security measure if you care for that much. But there is also a small link called I didn't have a mobile phone, which allows you to choose a secret question and answer. Once again, write it down, because in case if you want to continue playing ArcheAge but you lose your password, well, you are pretty much screwed. There are a few questions here, choose whatever. You'll probably not understand what they mean anyway, and they are not translated to English in case of some automated translator usage, so whatever. Just choose any question, fill any answer. Let's go for and there we go, I'm done. I click register, I'm asked to input captcha. I don't think it's case sensitive, but just in case. It allows us to connect certain services, but we're not doing that, we're not interested. But most importantly, we have an account at smail.ru. Now, let's go back to archeage.ru. Now, as you can see, register or login fields are gone. It has a big button called Connect the Game. Also shows your email. So anyways, let's press this Connect the Game. It's just asking us for our nickname. For the forums, let's make it ArcheageSon and press register. Tells us thank you. Now we've got our account here. You can upload a picture. Most popular members are showcased here on the site. In case you care enough, there are some notifications on this site. This would be good for you to keep following them. There have been quite a few maintenances on separate servers, on separate individual servers, so this is probably you wanna stay updated on. What we wanna do now though is probably to download the game. There is another red button called download. By any chance this button is not here, there is also download button over there at the top always. Another green button is to top up your account in case you want to deposit real money and pay for a subscription or something, but you don't need to. This is a free-to-play game. Subscription, of course, as in any free-to-play, gives you additional benefits which you might enjoy. I'm actually going to make a separate video talking about how to succeed in ArcheAge free-to-play. Anyways, I already have ArcheAge Loader downloaded, but just to show you how it's done. To launch this game in any of Mail.ru's games, you actually need to use their personal loader. It doesn't impact, well, normally it shouldn't impact your performance in any way of your computer. All it ever does is sometimes it pops very rarely, and you can disable this notification of the new events in Mail.ru games. So now that I've downloaded this, navigate to the folder you've downloaded the file to, or just in case you're using some highly advanced browser like Chrome, just click on the file name to start it. There we go, let's just choose run and it will probably start. Here we have this small window asking us where to install the software. Let me choose a different spot for it. Let me choose a different spot, say C games, not graphics. C games, let's accept terms and conditions and end user license agreement and hit continue. Now game will start downloading ArcheAge right here. Since it's me, I already have it installed, so it automatically detects it and sets it up here. Two things to note in this place. Every game has a separate tab here. There is a games catalog. I don't think you will ever be trying any of the other games, but just in case you want to try something, say Perfect World, a Russian Dota, Dota clone, just go ahead, or maybe Alliance Online, although I think Alliance Online have their own personal English client or something, I don't know. But anyways, ArcheAge has its tab here. Once it downloads, it will be here. You've got some utility options, like you can check your system whether or not it's compatible. You will have a list of your characters showing up right here. There is some news. You can also do some maintenance on the game. For example, if your game has stopped launching for whatever reason, there is a repair function right here. For example, you might experience some problems with Hack Shield, and usually selecting Hack Shield's folder and running a repair gets you back on your feet pretty quickly. You can also open games distributor folder, as well as games profile folder and games client folder. All of these are easily accessible through the launcher. You can delete games distributive or the downloaded files, so you would free up some space, because by default when your game's downloaded and installed, it will still be preserved on your hard drive for quick recovery, for example, but it is 20 gigabyte or so, so it takes some space. You know, maybe that is not something you can afford, so you can always just remove it. But before you can play, you know, once you've downloaded, you need to authorize yourself. So there is this small tab here in the upper left of the launcher. Click it. ArcheAge on mail.ru, telling us that authorization is performed, and we're good to go. So all we've got to do now is to actually press this button. Let's do it. Game starting, and we'll be in game, well, hopefully. Now at this stage there are a few problems you can encounter depending on your hardware, and mostly they're related to this Hack Shield, which logo you've just seen. I suggest you turn off all the unnecessary software, like antivirus really shouldn't be a problem. At least I haven't seen that many reports, but some silly toolbars, additions to the operating system, they might have an impact on the game. Also, I have to warn you that certain graphics hardware can cause problems with ArcheAge. There is a good solution. A good solution to this problem is actually downclocking. If you don't know what downclocking is, just forget about it. But in case you happen to run into some problems with ArcheAge, you really need to look into it. Downclocking your graphics hardware to the minimum values. There we go. Got the game here. I hope this gets you playing. Russian ArcheAge is not restricted by a country, any kind of geographical location. The only restriction is actually being the language, so if you can get past this barrier, you will have pretty enjoyable time, because Russian community is really competitive and really makes playing any kind of MMORPGs a really entertaining thing. So 3 things before we actually wrap this video up. First of those things would be, you should actually start communicating with other players, with our English speaking players, to make this process of playing the game much easier for you. So hit Reddit, for example. reddit.com/r/ArcheAge is a good source for ArcheAge related info, and here you can find everything you actually need to start playing this game in English. So the second thing would be, of course, once you are done downloading ArcheAge, get yourself an English patch. Of course, it translates all the text. I think it's all the text in the game to English. The problem is that the patch is automatically translates, meaning someone used Google translates all the text from ArcheAge Russian, and that's how they got it. The thing is, you know, automatic translation from English to Russian is really not all that awful as you might think. It's much better than automatically translating any of the Asian languages, say Chinese, Japanese, Korean. So you get a pretty comprehensible thing in the end. So go to Reddit, find yourself a thread, for example, like Team XXL Games releases new English patch, hit it, follow instructions, get yourself the patch, install it, you'll have Russian ArcheAge in automatically translated English will most certainly improve your understanding and enjoyment of the game. If by any chance you don't want to download some suspicious patch, even though it's really not all that suspicious, I assure you, there are quite a few translations of different things in the game. For example, you can easily go and find yourself fully translated skill trees, for example, if you prefer to be playing the original Russian client. For example, a quick look on Google brings this link up, translates all the skill trees. Understanding skill trees is actually quite important to understanding how to play the game. So, well, obviously, you need to know what you're doing, how you're killing these opponents to do it more efficiently, perhaps. Yeah, in case if you don't care for any automatically translated patches, you can also find pretty much everything translated from Korean to English on the internet. Just Google the particular part you don't really understand. Here on this very subreddit you can also find different English communities you want to probably join, so you are not the only English speaker on that Russian server you just joined. For example, there is United Nations on the world Gene. There was also a guild called Almost Russian on server Tyan. I think if you read through these subreddits you will definitely find yourself in the English community, and you really should pay attention to this. ArcheAge is not a game for a solo player. Now, if you just want to check out the story, although why would you play a Russian ArcheAge then? If you just want to check out the story, that is fine, but outside of the story quests, playing alone really puts you at a disadvantage and pretty much behind everyone else. So if you are kinda intending to play this game seriously, I suggest go to Reddit, Google a little bit, find yourself an English community you want to join. There are also a lot of Twitch streams, so just go twitch.tv/ and let me show you, twitch.tv/directory game ArcheAge. There are quite a few streams here, a lot of English speakers, a lot of Europeans. I have seen a huge Spanish guild playing here, so maybe you could check out these streams and communicate to the people running them. They will also be able to point you in the right direction. One thing to note about Russian community is that some of them do know English, and contrary to the popular beliefs, Russians are not against helping foreigners, really. So don't be afraid to actually ask something in English. There are always trolls, of course. Some people will try to troll you or something. It's a possibility, but there will be always someone to help you out with something you don't understand. Few Russians, especially female Russians, doesn't that thought that you will be talking to a real living female Russian excite you? But anyways, especially female ones do know some English and they wouldn't mind helping you out. Alright, the last thing here. In case you've decided to purchase yourself a premium account, here's what you need to do. First of all, go to the website. Earlier I mentioned this green button, so go ahead and press it. It says that currently my balance is 0 diamonds. Basically 1 diamond equals 1 ruble. And currently the exchange rates, I think with the recent events, it might be higher or lower at the time you're actually watching this video, but currently the exchange rate is I think 36 rubles to 1 USD, or almost 50 rubles for a euro or euro. I don't really know how to pronounce it properly, sorry. But anyways, here's what we do here. Some people have reported that it is impossible to pay using their normal Visa or MasterCard cards. As you can see here, we have some Russian payment options plus credit cards here. Some people on Reddit and forums have reported that they couldn't pay using the cards in this option. Although other people, I think from Germany, some people from Germany contacted me and told me they were able to do it without any problems. But in case this option doesn't work here for you, there is another one. There's also a good guide, I think, yes, on ArcheAge Source. This is also a good website. I suggest you check this out, which tells you what to do. I'm just going to talk to you. Originally written by Fido, I guess. Well, not I guess. It says Fido, so that's who wrote it. So that is what I will pretty much be telling you right now. In case you cannot pay by a credit card directly, there are quite a few other payment options here. Let's click on this link below the next button. It takes us to the Terra Bank's website. What we're looking here, there's still quite a few Russian payment options. We're looking here for Xsola, called To Pay. So let's choose it. Here's our email. Make sure that's it. And let's press go to payment. Wait a little bit and just look at all these payment options we've got here. At the bottom right is probably the one that interests you, and it's PayPal. So in case if you cannot pay with a credit card for whatever reason, there is also a PayPal payment option. It's slightly hidden, just slightly, but I think now that I've shown you how to, you will not have any problems actually finding it. There are quite a few, yeah, there are like more options in case there is something else that interests you. There's like Diners Club, there's Skrill in case you want to pay with that, former money bookers. There is Leak Pay, lots of payment systems. So, and more importantly, I don't think they take any commission for using those, so it's just currency conversion from your PayPal account into rubles, and that's all. Anyways, friends, I hope you enjoyed the video. I think that is all I wanted to cover in this one. Hope it gets you started. Remember one thing, ArcheAge is a real MMORPG. It requires you to play with others. By yourself, you will probably not be getting too far. It's just enough to actually get to level 50 to complete your story quests, but gearing up and getting involved with some of the bigger world activities requires you to have a solid and responsible team. So think about it. If you're serious about playing this game, and it can be really enjoyable, but you really need to have some guild or friends playing together with you. Anyways, what's next? Follow me on the social networks as well as follow the channel. I make a variety of MMORPG videos. Also check out my twitch.tv/dailypvp stream. That's where you can ask any questions you have, and if I know the answer, I will definitely respond. Pay a visit to dailypvp.com. That's pretty much an easier way to access all the channels I have, all the videos I make, and the stream. As well as links to the social media are there also. And on that note, I think I've covered everything. Yeah, well, wish you all a good day. See you in my next video, alright?